An eye-catching home entertainment setup can provide the perfect centrepiece to any lounge or living room, but you might find it requires combining multiple storage units and shelves to get the look you want. This wall of entertainment gives you a single unit on which you can mount your tech, as well as decorate to your taste to let your personality shine through. It includes ways to keep your cables neatly organised, so you can streamline the look of your setup as much as possible and minimise the amount of holes in your wall. In this video, Carla, a DIY enthusiast, is going to show you how to build an entertainment wall unit. The materials for this project are all available from Wickes and will take a DIYer with moderate skill approximately a day to build. Look out for this icon during the video for our DIY top tips. Find the complete tools and materials at the end of this video, or visit the Ideas and Advice Hub at wickes.co.uk for a step-by-step guide and more inspiration. This project is designed to be stripped back and affordable, using materials that are easy to get hold of and work with. While it's entirely up to you what you want to use, we've constructed our unit from scaffold boards and wood screws. We've used lengths of timber to create a supportive framework on the back of our unit, as they hold the individual boards in place together. This unit is completely bespoke to suit your space and desired setup, so gather all the tech you want to include in your wall of entertainment. You'll need to measure everything, from your TV to your soundbar, and use these measurements as reference points while deciding how big to make your unit. You'll also need to consult the product manuals to find out what kind of wall mounts you'll need, as this can depend on the size and manufacturer, although you may find that some come with their own wall mount included. Be sure to also measure and consider the area in your home where you want to install your unit, so you can make sure that you've got a perfect fit. Sketching out your ideas gives you a great way to visualise your project before you bring it to life. Safely set up your chop saw on your workbench and stack timber on either side of your bench at the same height as the bed of your saw. This provides support for cutting longer lengths. Once you're all set up, plug in your chop saw. Once you're sure on your measurements and your chop saw is set up safely, you can begin to cut your scaffold boards to size. For longer lengths, using the clamp helps to keep them fixed in place while you cut. Make sure you hold your material flush to the back of the bed and always take into account the thickness of your blade. Once you've completed your cutting, tidy up your workspace before moving on to the next step. You'll need to remove some of the roughness from your cut lengths, as scaffold boards tend to be quite coarse. Go over them with an orbital sander to smooth over the surfaces and chamfer the edges. While we built the entire unit in our workshop, we recommend completing the rest of the steps in situ, where you plan to fit your entertainment wall unit. Working from your designs, dry lay your shelving on your workbench with the lengths of scaffold boards that you've cut and sanded. If you plan on painting, staining or varnishing the wood, it's easier to do so before you build your shelves. We've chosen to use butt joints, but it depends on your chosen design. To achieve a more industrial look, we decided to use coach screws combined with washers. To find the position for your screws, use a timber offcut and mark the locations. Drill your pilot holes, then drive in your screws to construct your shelves. Reconfigure your workbench so that your sawhorses are positioned in parallel lines with 3 on each side. Lay down 3 of your scaffold boards and lay your battens along either end to check the measurement for the support frame. Add the rest of your scaffold boards with their metal ends all aligned, before placing 3 washers and a screw between each one to create even spacing. When laying the boards, make sure that the more aesthetically pleasing side is face down, as this will be the front of the unit. Use a straight edge and rubber mallet to ensure that all the boards are lined up evenly. Place the first batten in position, clamp it in place and fix it to the scaffold boards with 2 screws in each board. Then do the same for the second batten. We recommend asking someone to help you turn over the back panel, as this can prove quite difficult for just one person. Once it's flipped, clamp your bottom shelf into position on the panel before drilling pilot holes and screwing it into place up through the underside. Then dry lay the rest of your shelves in position, making sure that your joints are sitting square and flush. Trace the outlines of your shelves directly onto your back panel and remove them so you can drill your pilot holes. Make sure to also drill the pilot holes for your butt joints where the bottom shelf will connect with the two others. Once all your pilot holes are drilled, remove any pencil marks with your sander and clamp your shelves back in place. Fix them to the panel as well as the bottom shelf by screwing them in. Now that you've actually constructed your wall unit, you can start to think about what kind of things you want to mount on it. This part is completely up to you, so we're going to show you how to mount a TV and a soundbar as an example. Follow the instructions to fit your brackets in your desired positions. Use a hole saw to create holes that you can pass your cables through. It's important to consider where the cables are on your tech and drill the holes accordingly. Pass your cables through the holes, plug in your tech and mount them on the brackets you've fitted to the panel. Now your entertainment wall unit is ready to go. From TVs to soundbars, speakers, consoles and more, you can completely tailor your wall unit to your tech. Plus you can finish the wood however you want to help it seamlessly blend in with the room it's in. If you're doing any painting or staining, make sure to do so before the construction stage and give it plenty of drying time. Additionally, you can make the most of the extra shelf space by adding a touch of personality with fun decorative items.